Y'all need to donate. Y'all need to donate right now. Come on, you need to donate. I don't do this show for free. None of y'all are donated. You're not doing your jobs. Ugh. Of course, it's doing this. Why?
Oh man, what's up, people? So much karma on Karma Tube and so little time. Real talk, there's so much going on. It's unbelievable, and yet nothing is going on. Isn't it quite funny? I find it, quite frankly, pretty funny and pretty hilarious. You know, like I said, man, you know, people don't have to like me, but just like the readings say, you're gonna respect me. You know, And that's what I told everybody. I told that to everybody always. I told that to everybody in the public. You understand? And that's why a lot of people, you see me talking about them and talking about what's going on and talking about reality. That's all I do. You know what I mean? I don't do no extracurricular stuff. I don't worry about other people. But when people say something to me, I'm going to just stand my ground and respond because I'm entitled to my opinion. You know what I mean? If you talking to me, I get to talk back. You feel me? These people don't get way ahead of y'all, man. These people, I be hearing them come on these little so-called shows on here that ain't shows. It's just pathetic, man. These people will done think they became a genius and they discover gold. They all think they know something we don't know, bro. We so many steps ahead of all y'all. It's unbelievable, bro. Like real talk. I've been had everything moving, been had everything going. Like there ain't nothing new to discover in this game, man. What you gotta understand is here's the facts, bro. Y'all trying to run to all these other platforms and stuff because all y'all failed on YouTube and couldn't make it. I don't care what y'all say. This is still the best platform to do this on. It is. They trying to make up that these other platforms will pay. Yeah, you can make 9 grand a month. Yeah, sure you can. Where? Where they do that at? You know what I mean? I just think it's funny. They really believe and tell themselves they think they know something I don't know. Bro, you ain't gonna, and then they, oh, well, your first check will be $100, $200. What? Like, I just find that crazy. Feel me? Like, I really think that that's crazy. I'm gonna stand up for freedom of speech and go ahead and speak on everybody and say what I need to say because that's what the game about at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Is standing my ground. I'm a grown man. I'm gonna tell you what I want and how I feel. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? I could care less what happens, what anybody says. I'm a grown man. I ain't scared of nothing or nobody. I'm gonna say what I need to say. You feel me? You're gonna get more than my 2 cents every single time because everybody else is just acting like they got some right to speak and like everybody else don't. Batman gonna talk all he wants, right? I happen to be in charge. Like I said, that's what all this is about. Who's really in charge? Who's really in control? Do you feel in charge? I paid you a small fortune, and this gives you power over me. See what I'm saying? People don't even know what they're dealing with, man. They don't understand the monster they created, man. They don't know who they dealing with. None of them. So it's like hilarious at this point because nobody knows who the hell they talking to and how much power I actually have and how deep in the game I am and how deep the rabbit hole goes with me. I tried to tell y'all, man, that I'm a street thug and a gangster. I tried to tell y'all that like I'm also an intellectual and a genius. You know what I'm saying? I run the streets, bro. It's just different. Like I said, when I take this movement up to these new states, like when I take this movement up to
Hey,
New
what's up,
York,
John Cole?
bro, you think people in New York is ready for Batman? Come on, bro. Y'all scared of the South to begin with, man. We roll in a different demeanor. See, the thing about New York, I know how New York is. Like, yeah, that stuff worked when I was young, but the thing was, when I was in New York, I got along with everybody. I didn't have no problems in New York. New York was actually a really safe, nice, cool, easy place for me to make it. Matter of
Yo,
fact, I'm gonna tell you a little
Eslin,
story. Number one, like I
Eslin,
told you, I walked into a
Eslin.
grocery store up there. I think I was in Albany, right? And I was real like real thugged out at the time, so I was kind of getting into it with different people at different cities and stuff. Like there was some stuff that happened in Richmond, Virginia, where the dude was trying to act gangsta on the street and act like he was going to do something. And, good old, the old version of me, good old gangsta me was basically testing him and telling him to do something. And he didn't do nothing. He backed down. That was right there in Richmond, Virginia. So, like, people don't understand, like, I'm really a thug. Like, I really have been about what I talk about. There was never anything fake. Like, I would be listening to Biggie Smalls, okay, driving all over the country on like some gangsta actual thugged out stuff. Like we ain't the same. That's the thing that it comes out in the readings and these Joker videos and downloads. Like we don't come from the same walk of life. But my point, let me get back to topic, right? Before I get off track. The point is, like, I mean, like I said, like in Richmond, Virginia, there was a dude. He backed down. He was with his girl or something, right? He backed down. Same old story, like anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing everywhere. Albany, like I said, I was running dudes off corners, man. People were honestly in New York, people were generally scared of me. Like anywhere I went, I don't know why. Like even when it would be late at night and I was driving, because I was driving most of the time, and I think I was in my Chevy Cobalt when I went up there. I don't know if one time I did go up there in my truck. I think it was the Chevy Cobalt. I know one time I went up there in the Chevy Cobalt. I'm like pretty much positive because I went like a cross country tour, and I think that's when I met my friend out in another state, and then he was from Ohio, and we hung out. He was from like Cleveland. He was a comedian. I've met a lot of different people, and like he actually would invite me into like his apartment, and like we would do bench press in there. And like he at the time he was bigger than me, like, and I was pretty big, but he was a pretty big dude. He was stronger than me at the time. Now he wouldn't be, but at that time I think he was. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. No, he wasn't stronger than me actually because I was still doing calisthenics, but I just mean like he probably benched more than me at that time or something. He was just kind of a diesel dude, but he was like shorter than me. So I mean, I've been all over. That's what people don't get. I've met so many different people. Like, I'm just not these other people who, it kind of seems like everything's pretty uneventful for them. I've lived a whole lot, in my life. I've done a lot, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't take away from anything, it doesn't, I mean, it just is what it is, but it's just the truth, you know? So, yeah, then I went into like this grocery store. I think it was in Albany. And when I went up to New York at one point, the one time I went, I don't know if I went multiple times. I came through one time. I had blonde hair and blue contacts, so I looked like kind of like Eminem, but like I would wear tank tops like I do now, and like I was pretty diesel, like buff. And I walked into this grocery store. I think it was in Albany, and this dude who again was from the other culture or group, he stopped me, just a stranger, and I just got to talking to him or something, and he asked me, he said, "Hey, yo, be real with me, like, be serious, like, are you running from something?" And I didn't know why he was asking that. I mean, I can kind of get it because just the way I move is kind of like Jason Bourne, like literally, like people don't understand like how I am. Like I was the real Jason Bourne for a long time. Like, I've how to explain it. When I was younger, it was like I was always running from something, but I didn't know what I was running from. But like that was a real thing. That's what people don't get. Like, I think people, I don't know if it's the government or what, have known that I had gifts my whole life. So, like, there would actually be like vehicles that would be following us, and I wouldn't understand why. You know what I mean? But, like, I've definitely know how to live on the run. I mean, at the time, I mean, I'm clearly not running from anything now, but at the time, was I running from anything? No. But the way that I move, I could understand why my energy and demeanor would seem like that because I'm just very quick about everything I do and very efficient. You know what I mean? So like I'm trained just even if I'm going to just get groceries or walk in somewhere, I'm just trained already by my life to, go in quickly, get out, and it's just how I move. naturally it's programmed in me. But it was just so weird because he asked me that, and I was like, no, like, what are you talking about? Like I thought it was funny, and he was like, well, you got the blonde hair, the hair dyed, you got the blue contacts, and he said, and and I was like, oh no, like I just like the contacts. I just think they look cool on me because they actually do look cool on me. Like my eyes look bright blue when I wear them. It's that true sapphire color, the AccuView color contact. I used to like wearing those. Like Christina will probably hook me up with some, but I look good with them. And I was like, no, I dye my hair. I make rap music, so I kind of get on my Eminem stuff. And he told me, and he was like, in like your build, he's like, your build, you can tell that you work out a lot, like you do calisthenics or push-ups or something. So, I mean, I just told him the truth, like, nah, but I just thought that was kind of funny. It was a compliment at the end of the day, and he was like, oh, okay, it's all good. Like, what I mean? I just didn't know. Like, it was an interesting conversation, but like, it was a compliment at the end of the day. He's giving me a compliment. I mean, he's saying that, I was good in shape and I had basically, the body that I had worked for. Y'all don't get, I've been doing this workout stuff on different levels, not quite to the, level I'm at now. But when I was younger, I was doing the same thing. I was doing calisthenics. Like, y'all don't get, I used to drive and pull up in different complexes and hoods, literally like in the Cobalt, bro, or in my truck. And I would just pull up and start working out right in the little, wherever, like wherever they had places to work out, pull up bars, dip bars, all that stuff. I mean, honestly, yeah, I use whatever's available to me. And that's how I train. So like I have to find places to do it at. So that's why like it's no surprise for me. It's not hard for me. I just that's what I used to do. I was doing it in North Carolina even. North Carolina, I can't remember if I was in the truck or the Chevy Cobalt. I think I was in the Cobalt from what I remember. Yeah, I think it was in the Cobalt. I was listening to Hank Williams, hanging out with different people. I got lucky with one individual that I was smart enough to get away from because they just did not mean me well or any good at all, and they were super jealous of me. Because when I was in North Carolina, I mean, I was spending like 10 bands a month, and like I made a friend. He worked like he would make like seafood gumbo and stuff with the buffet, and I don't know if it was like a Golden Corral or something, but he liked his job kind of, but he just couldn't stand this one dude he worked with, and like he would talk to me about it, and like again, he was from the culture, the other group. A lot of my friends are. I roll with everybody, man. Like, what I mean? I usually get along with people of other cultures. Like when I make the statements I make, they're not to everybody. They're to specific individuals, and if you trace my history back, you'll always see that. That's why I don't understand when people try to just say things that aren't true. Like, what you're saying doesn't make any coherent sense. So if you're not going to be true to yourself, I don't value your opinion, and then by the time you be true with yourself, you expect me to value it. It's like, no, you know what I mean? Y'all can run around on the delusional fan stuff, all you want. I could care less, but I'm not going to respect you at any point because when it was time to respect me, you didn't want to. And my respect was not negotiable. I'm not one of those dudes. And I get tired of repeating myself, so at some point I just kind of, quit dealing with people like that. You know what I mean? And I move forward. That's about, standing in your power. But yeah, he would make like seafood gumbo over there and stuff, and he cooked in the back. Seemed like a pretty cool job. They were super nice to me. Um, but it was right around when that Ti song came out that was saying, "Long as I got rubber bands in my pocket." So at the time, we were like going clubbing, like we would go clubbing at night in North Carolina. And keep in mind, like I'm a diesel dude because I'm like taking creatine at the time, and all I'm doing is working out, training, whether it be on, pull up bars, monkey bars, dip bars. Like I've been doing this for a long time. That's what people don't get. So I'm doing that, and then I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I probably got in the gym or
Tyree
something
Sneed needs a
out
McDouble,
there. I
man.
probably didn't even have to, but I would do that. Take my little supplements of protein, figure out some. I probably got me a protein cup. I was staying in and out of hotels, and I was all through North Carolina. Like I came through the hood, and like I played basketball at the rec center, and they was like, "No, he can play." They were like, he's raw, he go hard." You know what I mean? And then like I hung out with all the hood guys who I can't even really talk too much about it because like the way they were rolling around the hood was crazy. You know what I mean? I can't say it on this network, but I'm just being honest. Like the way they was moving around was crazy. Like they were prepared for anything. But my whole point is I hung out with them. I played basketball all day, and that was my thing, and it helped me a lot because every time that I play with the culture, like it helps my game, because clearly like they know how to play ball, but like they're quicker and they move a lot faster. So it would help me because the more that I'd be running up and down the court, it would help my hops. I don't know why. Like it's like running really builds my jumping, I guess, from the bounce and stuff. There's some exercises I'm trying to still look up and I want to introduce into my training because I got to work on that, and get back to the basketball. I just haven't really been in the mood to do it. Um, you know, I'm focused on the world pull up record thing clearly right now. That's why I just really get in my Batman mode and I try to get as motivated as can be because I keep pushing it farther. I mean, I just did I broke my own record today, 133 pull-ups in one set. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, nobody has ever done this in the history of human beings and man. I mean, you can make up whatever you want, but nobody's ever done it. They're making up records. I think it's with the same guy. He did 105, so I broke his world record. But he has some other fake record about 1,000 something. Like that has to be within a day or something like that. Like I ain't worried about that, bro. I'm not gonna do that outside and sit in the heat all day and try to do as many pull-ups as I can. And there's no way to record it and film it because it would take too much space, camera space, on my phone. So I'll worry about that one later because I could definitely do that for Guinness and stuff, but I would have official cameras and I mean, who wants to do that? Like, that's just gonna take it out of you at the end of the day. You're gonna be so tired you can barely stand up or think or do anything. It's not good for your body. But I mean, I'll see what the record is because I know I can break it. I could probably break it pretty quickly. If it's 1,000 something, if that's within like however many hours or a day, I know I can break that record because look how many I do. I already, like, realistically, bro, I do at least a couple of hundred pull-ups pretty much every time I train. Probably, I'd say sometimes I probably do 1,000, like literally. So it's like that ain't nothing. That's not even like I'm telling you, like nobody's training is even close to what I'm doing. It's not even close to my level. Seriously, I like don't get it twisted. Like I got an inferiority complex the size of Mount Crumpet, but that's not what this is about. I'm not a dude who just talks or overcompensates. I mean, I really have studied this game, and I know that I'm the best because I've competed all over the nation with people from all over the world. Like I do the real thing. Like I told y'all, like I used to live in my truck and go compete in gyms, but like I would compete in my own mind. You know what I mean? And like I wasn't actually in competition, but I mean, if you go into a gym and you're competitive, you're gonna look around and see like what people are doing, and that's just how you learn and grow. I mean, it's the truth. That's how you learn. You got to assess competition, even if it's not competition. You got to act like it is, and push yourself harder. I've done my thing in Dallas gyms. I was going all over Florida. I was in gyms. I've been all over the country, man. I'm just telling you, I know I'm the strongest man in the world. I know it. There's people who could probably do some amazing things, and I've seen some of them, but if I put my mind to it, I can outdo them because I have more willpower than them. I refuse to give up. That's what makes me Batman. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, um, let me get back to the New York thing, man. Like I said, I mean, I was up there. I didn't have any problems. And then I went like New York was such an interesting experience for me because like I went to a buffet and like I had my own money. Like I was good. Like it was whatever I wanted to do in New York. Basically, I was gonna do. That's the truth. So like I was getting hotels that were pretty nice, right? And doing whatever I wanted to do and meeting people and talking to people and like there was a lot of positive stuff that happened in New York. Like being honest, like it seemed like people gravitated to me and my energy. So I go into this Asian buffet, right? I go in this Chinese buffet, and again, another dude from the culture, right? That's why like I'll always respect other people and other cultures because they've done a lot for me, even when I haven't asked. It's not everybody. You always have some that are envious and jealous or whatever, but they tend to get over it in time if they're normal. YouTube, these people ain't normal. I'm not worried about them, but people in reality tend to get past that and, develop some kind of admiration, respect, whatever. It all comes from admiration, anyways, at the end of the day. But I go into this Chinese buffet, right? And I'm smart. Like I know how to position myself to talk to people. Like this is what people don't get. Like I understand the law of attraction. I understand the things to say to get what I need. I understand how to talk, how to hold myself, body language. I just know how to like almost how to act. I would probably be a good actor if I wanted to be, but I ain't acting about nothing. But when I want, yeah, I could act. I mean, like I said, back in the day, I got through the whole state of Florida. Okay, like actual, let's get real, like actually panhandling, like real talk. I'm proud of it. Like when I was young, like I was young. This was a long time ago, and I got through the entire state of Florida. Like I was like the transporter when I was younger. That's what people don't get. Like I drove fast, I knew how to drive, and I could go out in the world and manually survive. You know what I mean? But like I was that guy at the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I had to do it at one point to just get to these other cities and to move. I was like living in my truck at one point, and bro, I got through the entire state of Florida, bro. Straight up. You know, people don't, people don't understand. I've been in some crazy situations, bro, that y'all don't know about that I don't really talk about on here. So it's like when people, think they know me, like you do not know me, bro. Y'all was lucky to ever meet me and lucky to hear me, bro. And I'm lucky that I've gotten to this point, honestly, like safely, and that I'm good, and I'm all right. Like I'm lucky, man, because I lived fast, especially when I was younger. You know, like I said, like I was in college at UTB down here for a minute. They changed the name. It's like Southmost College now, but it's University Texas Brownsville. It's a derivative of UT. And I went to college down there, finished my basics, was there for I think a good couple of years or 1 or 2 years. Um, I was staying in like the nicest apartments available right there on campus for a good minute for I don't know if it was a year, 2 years or whatever. I had a nice little apartment. It was nice, and I would make music in there. I got me a mic and I got Pro Tools, and I would record. Then I go to McAllen and eat at Texas Roadhouse and stuff. I've pretty much seen what the Valley has to offer when you have a little bit of change and money. That's why now it's like I'm just all valleyed out. I mean, even if I get money, this is just not really the place for me. It's boring. It's always going to be boring. It's the same people anywhere you go. It's all right. It serves its purpose. But back to topic. I go into this Chinese buffet. I go in this Asian buffet, right? And um, I meet this guy, like a guy from the culture, the other group, right? And like I was just sitting there and I don't know how I knew I'm kind of telepathic too, so I can just kind of I know how to reach people or get to people without saying much. And I don't know, we just started talking. I don't know if I said something and interjected in his conversation or if he actually asked me something. And it was so quick how like he invited me immediately. Like it was just crazy because like I guess it was God at work and I didn't understand it at the time, but like it didn't really surprise me, but it was just like it was so automatic his answer or maybe his invite. I don't even know if I asked him anything, but he just told me like, oh, we were eating good Chinese food there. I came in, I didn't know who he was from Adam. I don't know if he was with some other dude. And I just got to talking to him and like we got along, we were cool, and I told him probably like I'm from Texas and stuff. And like he invited me like to like that I could stay with him where he was at. So like I've seen like the inside of like New York apartments. They're kind of cool. They're real different. You know what I mean? Some of them are kind of like projects, but where we were at was fairly nice. I remember, especially inside. Like I thought it was pretty quaint. It was pretty cool. It's kind of like the movie, the new Batman, like the way they set up Gotham in it. I'm pretty sure that was New York. But that's really the way it kind of looks, you know. And I just think New York is Gotham. I think New York is ground zero for a lot of things that are un-American. And I think that's why the Statue of Liberty is there. There's other countries that show the Statue of Liberty in chains, and basically it's like a message, to break free is how I view it. Like that America is in chains because it is, and we have to stand up for ourselves and our independence and freedom, and break the chains, so to speak. But um, yeah, he let me stay with him. Like I don't know, I think I slept on a couch or something, but like like I said, I had money. I was a little paranoid at the time because I was young, and I didn't know him. I don't know people, so like it'd be hard for me to sleep when I'm around people I don't know. I went through that a couple of times in Florida too, because for a while I was, like I said, I was doing that in Florida, surviving because I was just living in my truck for like a hot minute. And I would have to park in these different, like, y'all don't know nothing about this, like, living real life. That's what I'm telling you, because, like, maybe somebody will learn something. But, like, I mean, I would have to park in different parking lots, right? Because like you got to be careful about what parking lot you park in because you don't know if they're gonna start bothering you or something, right? And they'll target you. Like they'll start realizing, okay, he's parking over here. So like I would move my truck around, you know what I'm saying? And I went through different experiences there. And then like I would get a little bit of money. I'd go into like Panera Bread and get me like the tea from the thing with the cup and drink that and probably get me like a cookie or a little something to eat. And like when I'd make me a little good band of money, I'd feel like I accomplished something. You know what I mean? I feel like I was balling. Like because I was good looking, like I've always been good looking, so like I mean once I get a little bit of dough, I'm back on my game. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like real talk. So and then like I met another dude. He was a big guy, and like I remember we were outside a grocery store in Florida, and he just would like get into it with people, and he had this girlfriend, and she was kind of like you know chunks, like kind of a little big, but like she was super loyal to him, and like they were some good people, they were cool, like he was always cool with me, but he just had a temper, you know what I mean? And like I was just kind of like his partner for a while, and like but like he would get into it with people, and I wasn't so much the way I am now. I was a lot more cautious and stuff when I was younger. I've evolved a lot, just from life experience. So in either way, I'm still smart, I still make good decisions. um so he was cool, and then I think I stayed with them just for a little bit, and then I actually was in like a Section 8, a dude who was living on Section 8. We stayed at his spot just for like one night, and I think I didn't want to do it after that. I was like, this is whack, because like that building was whack, the apartment was whack, like there was nothing in it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. He even told me he's like I know what's going through your mind. Like you're like I'm having to sleep here around these guys I don't know. Like, and I'm like, well, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I mean I've just always been about taking care of myself and self preservation. Because I know I'm a jewel. I've always known I was a jewel. I knew I was a diamond in the rough day one. So I'm pretty big about self preservation. I'm pretty like choosy, and I'm not paranoid. I'm just awake, and I'm not trustworthy of everyone. Like I make sure that I know what's going
Yo,
on.
what's
There's been
up,
plenty of
Arnav
places that I left where I was supposed to sleep at that I
Benedicar?
left because I'm not gonna sleep around
No,
enemies.
Sticky, he's not
You know what
live.
I'm
This is
saying?
his
Like
stream
I
from
said, I've
yesterday.
been
I'm
in
waiting
different
for him to go live.
situations. I've been in shelters. Like I've
Are
even
you gonna
been
be
in
able to
the
stream snipe him?
what do you call it? I've been in all these different places, bro. Like I've seen so much in my life, bro, and like
His
all
troll
those
hole
different
was violated.
experiences
Yeah, he's
molded me,
paranoid. His troll hole
shaped
was
me,
violated.
and taught me things. That's why me as a teacher, I don't encourage people to do what I did, but I try to encourage people to live real life, because that's where the jewels are. Like you're going to learn things living real life. You're not going to learn anything sitting on YouTube comparing your life to others and having whose life sucks more contest. You're not going to win anything or get anywhere or evolve like that. You're going to have to go out and live life. And that requires letting go. That requires accepting not having money all the time. That's why I don't understand these people. It's like things aren't bad because you don't have money. Things are bad because of your point of view that's jaded and your depressing, outlook on the world, and you basically have you basically have rose-colored glasses on that show everything, like that South Park episode when they're hearing the music that the youth listens to, right? Like you see everything as something bad. So that's why a lot of you are mad and angry and frustrated all the time. It has nothing to do with money. You know what I mean? For some people, it's money in certain situations, but money doesn't make you happy. A lot of you are just miserable because,
I'm out with
well,
my kid
it's a
right now. He needs
personal
school
issue that you don't
clothes.
know how to
I can try when I
face.
get home, though.
Which is a
Okay.
lot of what I
Well,
represent because I show
he's not
people and
live right
demonstrate
now,
with
so you
everything
still
I
have
do
time.
and everything I'm doing right now. It's very powerful. Like those Joker videos explain it perfectly, but it's waking people up. I mean, they have to. I mean, it's showing people the reason why a lot of people act like they don't like me is because I'm a exemplification and proof that they gave up on themselves, that they don't have an excuse anymore, that they could push harder, that they could try harder. You see, that's why I'm a motivational speaker. This is why I'm a life coach, because I represent the ideology to build from. Like what they study in the Kabbalah is the male's
My
you know
co-op
what,
mode is turned
which is what I
off.
have.
You can't
Without
join
the
my world.
male,
My
then you
co-op mode is
cannot
turned
build
off.
anything in this world. You just can't. That's what the actual enemy, if you want to call them, are Masons. That's what they study, the Kabbalah. Okay, so they don't even think that women can build anything, right? And I'm not going to go as far as to say that, but I'm going to say that a lot of so-called women, it's pretty much proven that they can't build, right? But an actual woman, I think, can definitely build. And if they're smart, they'll find a good, real man, the right man, right? And I don't think there is any men. I think I'm the only real man, but they'll find a guy. And if they're
I'm the
really
only real
smart, they're going to
man.
find, try to find the closest thing to a real man they can get. Okay. And build and learn how to build together. That's what a smart species does. They help each other. They don't put each other down. They don't try to drag each other down. That's why, like I said, if aliens showed up, even though we know aliens are here, even the government's already admitted it to UFOs, but that's another thing too. The flat Earth thing is starting to make more sense to me. Number one, like scientifically, and then on top of that, they say that the UFOs, just like William Bill Cooper said it himself, that it came out of the water. He was an ex-naval intelligence officer, so he witnessed it firsthand. He said they came out of the water. I think it's tied to Atlantis. I think there's underground cities still to this day underwater. I think there's a whole world underneath the ocean. They say ocean is like the real space, and then they're saying that above the firmament, and this is in the Bible even, that there's water above the firmament, which is the scariest thing to me because there's a episode in The Simpsons where they get through the firmament and water starts pouring into like the planet. And that to me is the most terrifying concept ever to me. But it seems like they're definitely trying to get through the firmament, and it seems like they just can't, which is good.
All
Like,
right,
I think
sounds good,
God is
Sticky. I'll do
protecting
that.
us and protecting the world. I don't think he's going to let that happen. But it honestly, like, few things scare me, and that terrifies me because people don't understand that space doesn't necessarily exist. It's been a lie this entire time. Space could be water, it could be a whole ocean. We could be in a little globe and we could be tiny, like they show in Men in Black, and we're in a whole vast ocean. Okay, so think about it. If go through that firmament, and this is a small globe, and we don't understand that we're in the middle of a real ocean, then all that water has to come in somewhere, right? Think about that. I don't want to go through that. Like, that's the scariest thing ever to me. That's why, like, I don't like Elon Musk, Elon Tusk. I think anyone who's trying to get through the firmament is maniacal and is trying to play God. When they did this thing recently with this fake shuttle, I would pay attention to the name of it, which I think was Blue something, just like the Jay-Z's baby was named Blue Ivy, if you remember. All that is demonic names. Okay. And when they're putting Katy Perry in there, okay, and then saying we're going to space, well, they were back real quick. I mean, that was like a lunch break. So you didn't go to space. There's a firmament. And that's kind of all you're showing is that you don't know how to go to space. There is no space. That's all they keep showing me. I think all the stuff was staged with NASA and all that as far as going to the moon. I think there's a firmament. As a matter of fact, I'm almost positive there's a firmament because if you study the way the planes have to fly their trajectory when they get near Antarctica or whatever, they have to fly lower, and it's because there's a firmament, and they know the firmament is there. That's what's crazy. Like, I think pilots know about it. You know what I mean? Because if not, that firmament is there. Like, they have to drop, and it's like a long way that they have to go down, in sky level. So you know, I don't understand why we even have NASA. I don't understand. I mean, they're doing us no good. I mean, they're literally just playing around with something they shouldn't be messing with, and they're trying to play God. And I have a major issue with it, and I don't understand it. That's why, like, someone like Elon Tusk, I have no respect for. I mean, he's evil as hell. So I'm just saying, when they be whining about, oh, the whole world doesn't like Elon Musk, I mean, should they like him? I mean, who's gonna like someone who's playing with our firmament and our planet and trying to make microchips to control people. I mean, come on, bro, you can't be serious. This dude is bringing nothing good to the planet. Yeah, because people in other countries are awake and they're not going to play these games. You understand? Like, I'm one of the few Americans who's awake, but these other countries, like Lebanon and stuff, and Israel, like, they're all awake. Like, they know what time it is. And they're not going to sit here and play these games the way these sheep Americans do. It's just the truth. You know, it's just like I said with the media, how they brainwash other countries, not only people here, but they brainwash other countries and then they create the conflicts. What America's government does every time is they go pick on people who are half their size and have no military, right? So they go pick on people and they start these issues with every single country. You can trace it back to Nam. You can trace it back to any of these so called you know whats that have happened. They've all been designed by the military and the CIA for power. They send young men like me and you off to you know what for no purpose while they tell you you're defending and serving your country, but you're not. And they're literally, you know, trading you out,
Oh
betraying you.
no!
And I mean, they're being a traitor. It's treason because they're literally betraying actual Americans. You know, that's the thing. People who go like into the service and into the military and these agencies, like, it's not that I don't respect you. I respect you as a person, but I don't respect your decision because when I was young, I knew out the gate immediately, like, no, this is weird, it's mad suspect, and it's evil. I already knew immediately. Like, nobody had to tell me. I just knew. Like, I was like, no, I'm independent. I think for myself. I would never do what y'all say, ever. I would never sit there and do anything for you. Why? You never helped me. Like, this is my country. Why? How do you make the rules because you're in a position within this engine of business that's not even doing us any good? You know, I mean, they've been training military personnel to go against American people. We've known about this since I was in North Carolina. I mean, this has been going on for decades, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, they talk about it every day. You know, now they're talking about military and you know the other agencies. They're all run by the U.S. government. It's all a show. It's like wrestling. None of that is going on. See, that's the thing I can't stand about Americans in America is like, I'm from this country. I am the true America, first of all. So none of you are actually Americans. I am. So let's get that right. But if we want to pretend with the people who are in America and live in America, because most of them are foreigners, they're not from here, right? They all have an opinion and think it matters when opinions don't matter, right? Right? And my whole point is they all think that they have an opinion. They think they're entitled. They think they know everything, right? But it's like at the end of the day, you don't even understand how this country was created, the soil that you're walking on, how much has had to happen here to build all this. And then all these people who aren't from here, they just come in and then they get rewarded now. That's the new system. It's all against Americans, real Americans. That's what this whole thing is about. So like me, I am the the number one target. Real talk. I'm gonna always be public enemy number one as far as whatever it may be, you know, government, probably CIA, whatever, because I'm a real American. Like I come from a lineage that built this country. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to dismantle the entire lineages of people like me. That's what a lot of this was about, common sense. It doesn't take a brainiac to figure it out. I've been way ahead of the game the whole time because they want to they want to disassemble these lineages like mine because we have power. You understand? Like me, I'm like real royalty. That's what y'all understand. Just like I said in these readings, I'm probably about to inherit like a royal fortune. If I do, I won't be telling anyone on this network. I'm not going to come on here and say, hey,
What?
I'm, richer than the Prince of Saudi Arabia now. I'm just going to start moving differently immediately, and y'all are just going to be like, yep, it happened. And, that's when everybody should probably worry.
Yo, what's up, TV, DVD? Yeah, this game's awesome. Genshin Impact is pretty fun. I like it. Good game. But yeah, so that's what he's talking about here. He just said he's going to get a royal inheritance. He's talking about his mother dying because his dad already died and he got inheritance from his dad. So that's what you guys were talking about in the Discord is with his inheritance. So he's waiting for his mom to die, I guess, so he can get a royal inheritance.
You feel me? because now you've got a Batman who's, the most powerful man in the world, was always rich before, but if I get even more money like God told me this time around, and I'm even richer, like the richest I've ever been, and so much money I don't even know what to do with, well, I will know what to do with it because God showed me and taught me now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and you've got a Batman who's trained the way I am and is a thug and a gangster who enjoys doing all that and being in the street and being the real thing, doing the real thing. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's common sense, bro. Like, yeah, I'm sure people are paying attention to what I'm doing. They have to be. Why do you think I'm not getting support right now? I'm not getting support because people don't like me. I'm not getting support because people don't believe in my cause, or it's because they see my vision. They see what I'm building. They don't want it to come to pass because they view it as a problem for them. You feel me? They view it like, and I almost don't blame some of them, you know what I mean? But it's just not the way it is. They're delusional, but they probably view it like they're not even going to be able to eat or get anything done if I make it. It's like I already made it. I'm just restructuring and building. You see, I'm building an entire empire. That's what this icon is about. I love this new icon, by the way. How do y'all like it? I create all of these. I design all of them. Straight up. I design them for fun. I have probably like already probably like 60 plus of these that have totally different looks and styles to them. You understand? So like I'm efficient, like I told you with business. You know what I mean? Like also I'm thinking I could try to get, I don't know if it's a license or certification, and I could actually open a business creating these for businesses and other people. You understand? Because right now I just do it for myself for fun as a hobby, you know what I mean? And I have other people that, I can actually, get them to make them for me too. You know what I mean? I've kind of always, developed and had that along the way. But
No,
my whole
Troll
point
Team
is
6. This is on
this
PC.
logo is beautiful.
This is on PC, but luckily these days they got that cross-platform thing, where you can play on multiple platforms. So you can play with people on Xbox and PlayStation and all that. I have this game on my PS5 too, but no, no, I wouldn't be able to listen to Sneed if I was playing this on my PS5. I gotta have a tab open in the background so I can have it connected to my streaming software. But yeah, this game's awesome. Genshin Impact is so fun. Like you got to give it a chance. The first 20 to 30 hours of Genshin Impact are pretty boring, but once you start, building up characters and stuff, that's when it gets really fun.
And it's perfect for Sneed Enterprises. This is just like the
Nah, Sticky, I'm not on Xbox, man. I can add your Genshin Impact account. I'm not on Xbox though. I have an Xbox account, but I haven't had an Xbox in years.
entertainment division. There's going to be different divisions of Sneed Enterprises, but I like that logo for Sneed Enterprises. Like I said, I have other ones. I got lions, I got tigers, I got like I think Bengal tigers. I got different looks and styles for them, different colors and everything. But like, I'm gonna run them by Christina and see what she says and which one she likes the most. But
What? Why did he go mute? Is that on my end? I think that's on his end. Yeah, that's on his end. The stream's still going. I'm a RuneScape nerd, so 30 hours is nothing. I'll try. Yeah, you should definitely try it. RuneScape, bro. I haven't played RuneScape since probably like 2010, a long time ago. I was never too into RuneScape, but I was really young at the time, so yeah, yeah. No, definitely give this game a shot. And Wither and Waves is another kind of rip off of this game, but Wither and Waves came out more recently, so the graphics are kind of better. So you can try out Wither and Waves and Genshin Impact, two pretty good games, but I don't know. Genshin Impact still is the best out of them because I don't know, just the mechanics are the best.
really, hold on.
All right, hold on, guys. He said, waiting for his mother to die so he can get her inheritance. Pretty fucked up. I can't believe it though. On the Discord, they were sharing screenshots. His mother's like a multi-millionaire. Like his mother's loaded. So if he even gets a portion of his mom's inheritance,
How
he's
do
gonna be
I
so rich. But
testing one two, testing one two. All right, I think that'll work. You see the games that they're playing? That's the government right there. So they kicked me off the show mid sentence, right? Interrupted my thought, right? And basically they do it all planned, all on purpose, and then they try to make their little coward moves. It's always the same, right? But they time everything. That was all timed. And then, like I said, they put me on here like I'm on here twice. I'm only on here once, so I actually have to get myself off of a panel, which is should be physically impossible, right? It's just all the same nonsense over and over again. But like I said, we would actually purchase clothing and then I'd get the certification and license to be able to sell brand name clothing as well. That way I don't have to worry about any clothing that we obtain. And then like whatever clothing we get, even if it's donations, we could get clothing and then resell clothing on eBay and all that. So like I'd have like a clothing division for Sneed Enterprises. I want to have like a jewelry division. I want to have, and we can do this all with just Christina and I. We don't need a bunch of people or workers or anything. We could do that, but we don't have to. At some point we probably would because we want the company to be able to run itself and be self-sufficient without us being around all the time. But the point is, I'd have that, and then I'd have the digital real estate and physical real estate department combined, right? It'd be just like Wayne Enterprises, kind of, except it'd be the real thing, and it's not biting off their idea because they didn't talk about that or have all that. They had that one division where they had the tumbler and all that stuff that they were building, right? So you're gonna have that going on and that built. It just is what it is, man. So end of the day, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it would all work out perfectly. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and Christine are definitely going to be doing independent real estate. That means physical, tangible real estate, digital real estate, which I already have the avenues digitally to do digital real estate. I already know about them,
no,
right?
you
And
don't.
that's just more like money deals. But the thing is, like, if we get creditors or whatever, or good credit, and she probably has good credit, we'd be able to actually get like $100,000 loans and stuff like that, maybe even more to purchase properties. You understand? And there's ways to like invest money and make percentages off of the money. You feel me? So, long story short, it'll have different divisions for Sneed Enterprises. Then, like I said, you have the entertainment division here. I'm already building this. I mean, this is the thing. I don't waste time like other people. All these other people, they're just sitting around. I saw the Mr. Ping one was talking about a fake app named Flip and said, I signed with Flip. Yeah, I'm not even going to open Flip because it's a waste of time like everything you do. You're
I
how
seen
old
that
are you
too.
now, bro? You're going to sit there and play stake for the rest of eternity and just sit there and
Oh,
make no money and get nowhere. Like I said, I'm not saying anything but something positive. I mean, you're going to just never do anything ever. I mean, you see your attitude, you see it doesn't help those people that they're selfish and stingy and they don't want to help me to do what I need to do when they have the resources. Like I said, we could have gotten this Batman thing on a whole nother level anytime because that dude has resources. And they're not even his. They're all the other people around him. There's his support system. They've created an environment for him where he's spoiled and he gets everything he wants. So he has the tools.
he's talking about Jared PPP right now. Jared PPP is a 36, 37, 38-year-old loser who lives with his mom still. I seen that the other day. The Jared PPP posted on his community tab about some stupid app like Flickr or some shit like that. How he signs. That's what he's talking about right now. Oh, why is he talking about that though? Is he like jealous or some shit? He is lip Joey Sneed. He claims to be a billionaire. He claims to be a trillionaire and thinks he's Batman for real. If you want to see more, yeah, yeah, subscribe to Sticky Troll Team 6. He does good streams. Oh, Vladimir here is here. Also, his mom is pretty gone as well mentally. However, I can't imagine. I don't know. I don't know how she puts up with him.
To set me up as Batman. I could have been doing the real thing the way I want to do it on the level I want, but because there's no trust and people like him wanted to go against me instead of just working together like a human being and being a normal person, we can't do that. we got to keep waiting and being patient. And now basically God has to deliver. And, clearly people like that, God is just going to keep bringing vengeance and bringing karma to. It's common sense, right? Because God told me vengeance is mine. So it's like they're suffering going through their karma, that they earned and they rightfully completely deserve. Because, all this stuff they did towards me for no reason because they're just not good people. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not even concerned about talking about that. That's in God's hands. But like I said, that's between you and God. You know what I mean? But my whole deal is, like I said, it doesn't take that many
Oh,
resources to start getting this show on the road properly and doing the right thing. I'm talking to TJ. TJ heard everything I had to say. We talked, we cool, we fine, like I said. And I told him, like, I'm not trying to be hard on you. This is just how I am. It's how my dad raised me. You know what I mean? So I apologize if it comes off any type of way. But it's just, sense of adamancy. And he said, like, he said himself, like, he hears that, he understands. So we're on the same page, So I just got to see. He just says he has a lot going on, which I believe. You know, it's not easy in Austin, period, to get anything done, especially with all them numbskulls. I mean, them people make everything difficult just like here. It's the same type of people. It's the same culture if you really pay attention, a whole lot of, and they just be in the way. I'm just telling you the truth. They be messing everything up, bro. They be in the way of the money, in the way of the jobs, and then they just sit there and try to talk smack behind your back. Like, they're always in the way, man. Like, real talk, it don't make no sense. Like, it's unfair that this is supposed to be America and we should have valid chances and opportunities. And I mean, it's just the truth. We don't. We're completely outnumbered, bro. You know what I mean? We've been outnumbered since day one, and it's like, that doesn't mean that I'm any way or I see things some weird way. It just means that I open my eyes and I'm surrounded, and that's just not normal. It wouldn't matter who it was. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was yellow space aliens. If I'm surrounded by them, like, that's a problem, bro. And they're taking all the jobs. That's an issue, right? Clearly,
like I
right?
said, man.
I mean, come on,
Like I
man.
said,
This is my country. It don't make no sense for there to be no opportunities because of stuff like that. And who let it get like that and get out of hand like that? The government. Because, like I said, it's all about doing it towards real Americans. They're not on our side. They're not trying to help us. Why do you think they kicked me off my own channel and my own show mid sentence? Because they don't want people to hear the truth and the real message. So back to the whole New York thing. Like I said, I'm coming to New York, bro. Y'all better get ready, man, because Batman's coming to New York. And, I think it's funny because a lot of those people, they're starting to have to develop some kind of whatever. Like I said, they have admiration, but some kind of respect for me. And I mean, it already told me in the readings a while back that they were going to be my biggest fans and stuff because, they actually, they've actually dealt with me a little more on here and had some experiences, at least online, concerning me. I mean, which is cool, that there's people that we have a little bit of understanding and know of each other a little more, so I mean, they're going to end up being my biggest fans. I'm sure they already are. You know what I mean? Then you got the other ones who they stalking me and they watching my every move and they trying to copy Big Daddy, who for real, and they can't admit it. And then they make fake posts pretending like they're confused about people, paying attention to me and promoting me and talking about me, and really not in a bad light, in a positive light, which is what needs to happen. And they can't stand it because they got to have all the attention all the time, right? But meanwhile, you're not even monetized. You're just a nobody, and you're just on YouTube and can't even keep a standard channel. You can't even run a channel. I mean, how you gonna not even start, but then act like you're bigger than me? Like, you mean because you ask for donations and beg all day? I thought I was begging, right? Oh, I'm begging. How am I begging if I'm creating checks on here every day? My next YouTube check is already at 120 bucks. So all that fake donations and fake money you say, oh well, it's all fake and it doesn't exist. You're not getting any of that. And
oh,
even
he's
the
talking about
imaginary
Troll Team
businesses usually
6.
you make, I'm steadily catching up to in
Yo,
reality with
Sticky,
real
he's
money, and
talking
I'm
about
making it
you.
all by myself. I mean, isn't that to be admired that I work hard and I create my own checks? You see the point? But see, I'm a radio personality. I'm a public figure. I'm a celebrity. I'm an MC and a rapper and a record label owner and a CEO. I own my own businesses. I'm building Sneed Enterprises up. It's an idea, but it's already a business. All these are already businesses. They're already up and running. They're already good. And I keep them all ideas because, like I said, I'm a cowboy. We don't operate the way y'all operate. I never will. I've been doing these things the same way my entire life, and I'm never going to change. I'm a cowboy from the Wild Wild West. I'm not concerned. I don't need anything from you. It's like opening an LLC. For what? What am I going to open an LLC for? Like, you know what I mean? Like I run this, I get to do this my way, like I said, and this is just through YouTube. Like I make money on YouTube through YouTube, right? But I'm able to build my business. So like at some point I'm going to be able to build other avenues for the business where I'm able to, expand and expand my reach and do even more, right? And the whole point is to keep building and building and get to where I'm making more money and independent money outside of this platform and everything, but with my own media company. So I'm already building Sneed Enterprises as we speak. I'm already building the entertainment division as we speak. You understand? Like I said, it's just different because I'm really not entertaining anyone. Everything I'm doing is real. I'm just calling it entertainment because that's what I want to do on the
Oh.
side. Like when I take a video of a sunflower and show it to you, that's more the entertainment to me, you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm the real Batman. I'm going to be being Batman and doing the Batman thing this entire time. New York has a lot of corruption. I already know that. It's going to be just like the new movie. And when I get up there, I think things are going to get really exciting. Honestly, I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of action real quick. I think it's going to get exciting real quick. And I just think it's going to put things in perspective for everybody, especially, the YouTubers that are up in New York or people in New York. I think they're going to see real quick, like, okay, so this is how real this dude actually is. Because the minute I get to New York, I'm getting busy. I'm not doing no talking. I mean, the minute I get to New York, I'm going out in the street as Batman in a full suit. That the suit will be bulletproof. It should be proofed for basically everything, right? I'm talking about when I have the budget and the money. I mean, we're Christina's supposed to help me. She's going to help me build these bat suits. So the bat suit should be like very, very up to scale. It should look probably just like the movie, just like Batman, except I might be covering my face, and that will be like a titanium grill or something that literally like a cage over my mouth. Like the point is to make it look terrifying. It's not supposed to look like nice. It's not supposed to look just like the movie. I mean, I want it to look like what it is because I'm a walking nightmare. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, you're going to
You're
have,
a
I mean, it
joke.
is what it is. You're going to have the walking nightmare walking around New York at any time that I want. If it's 4, 6 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I tell Christina, hey, I'm going to go out as Batman right now, if she's going to say, I love you, cool, kiss me, and I'm going to go out on the street as Batman, she's going to have GoPro cameras are going to be on my front back, right, attached to me, right? There may even be like somebody who films for me, and she should have live feeds to the GoPro cameras and everything so she can see everything going on. I'll be mic'd up so she can hear me, right? And she's going to see all the action and get to just sit there and eat cereal and Chinese food and whatever she wants and enjoy watching me do the real thing and be Batman. That's what y'all don't get. There's going to be, mark my words, there will be a Batman, a real Batman, probably in New York City, probably Harlem, Brooklyn, even Jamaica, Queens. I'm going to be everywhere, bro. And the thing about me is that no one controls me, so nobody knows where I'm going to pop up. You don't know what street corner I might be on. You don't know what hour of day or night. You don't know where I'm coming, where I'm from. You don't know nothing. Nobody knows nothing. Batman's just going to appear one day in the middle of New York and get to work. You know what I mean? And that's a big deal because it's going to change a lot of things real quick. You know what I mean? Because all these antics and people are so crazy in New York, like, nah, all that stuff is, quite frankly, it's not going to fly. All that stuff is going to fly out the window real quick. It's just not going to fly. It's not going to work. It's not going to work with Batman, bro. I'm not doing all this training for no reason, man. I'm going to be in amazing shape. Like I said, I'm going to be in whole new suits and trying out different suits, different things, different techniques. I'm going to be training harder than ever, right? And I'm going to actually have like full gyms. So like I'm going to be able to train during the days, or if I want to train at night and go out during the days too, I'll do that. I'm going to experience day and night. I mean, I'm not just a night only Batman. I don't know why people think that, but like right now I operate during the day for a reason, but like I will use the night when it's necessary, but I mean, I'm going to be operating during the day too. I mean, I want to experience New York with Christina. So, like I said, all my attention and focus is going to be on her. It'll just be like set days, and she'll know the missions I'm going on and what I'm trying to do. I'll discuss with her all my objectives and all the research I'm doing. I'll be studying everything, honestly. I'll be looking into criminals, I'll be looking into politicians, I'll be keeping an eye on everything and everyone and trying to see and figure out every little angle of everything. I'm talking about everything, bro. I'm talking about I want to know who's who, right? I want to know what they do, what their job is. I want to know if they're corrupt. I want to know everything about everyone. And what's going to happen is I'm going to be out enough that I'm going to meet all these people and talk to them in person and come to an understanding. And I'm going to tell them straight up what I'm there to do, which is to help and to protect people, but that I'm not asking for permission. I'm just here. And, everybody's just going to have to put up with me. It is what it is. They can't do much. I mean, they people could try to give me a hard time, but it's kind of hard when you're Batman because like I'm literally going to be able to jump from buildings and probably fly. That's what y'all don't get. So at least fly to an extent, like glide, because I'm. Was that the bat again? Because I'm gonna be able to figure out the cape, like get the actual cape I need. I might do it just like the movie with memory cloth and the electric current, where it actually can like harden in the air, right? So that I can glide a little bit. Like that's the type of stuff I'm gonna be working on. So it's like if you say, like, let's do a hypothetical real quick, right? If you say, and I don't care who thinks I'm crazy, I'm not crazy, I'm smart as hell, I'm a genius. And I just understand that this is really possible and that we need it. It really makes me feel bad what I'm hearing going down at FSU at that college. It really breaks my heart because I know that if Batman was in Florida and God had put me there and I was,
No.
already had the money and the resources, I could have helped, man. I could have saved
No.
people. So I mean, I'm trying not to cry because it honestly hurts me. I mean, I want to save the whole world. I want to really save lives and help people, and that's all I'm going to be doing. You know what I mean? But I'm also going to be in the street in the nitty gritty, in the very hardcore environments like the hoods and the ghettos. And it's just whatever with me. It's whatever comes my way. You feel me? I'm open to whatever. Like, I'm from the hood, man, and nothing phases or scares me. People don't scare me. Like I said, I'm gonna be in an all-out bat suit, bro. It's gonna look scary, terrifying as hell. There's not gonna be people in the street. I'm just being honest with you. If they see me in these new suits that Christina and I are gonna design, they're gonna freak out. Like being honest, there's not gonna be nothing like, oh yeah, Mr. Batman. Like, no, bro. People are gonna see me and like go the other way. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's the point. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This suit is gonna be terrifying. It's gonna be the real thing, and it's gonna be my energy. I want it to match my energy of how I feel and who I am. Isn't that messed up? Man, I'm sick, right? I'm messed up. I'm just downright messed up, right? I like the way Jack Nicholson told the guy in the elevator, or no, Jim Brewer told Jack Nicholson. No, it was Jack Nicholson told Jim Brewer, and he made it a joke. Jim Brewer, I don't know if he really said this, but he said that Jack Nicholson looked at him and said, you look the way I feel, because Jim Brewer always looks like he's hungover and stuff. But this suit, I'm going to build different suits. I possibly am going to build a gold Batman suit too, kind of like Golden Frieza. I like the Frieza concept too, but I'll be a golden Batman some days, and it'll attract a lot of attention, and it's going to help my celebrity. I mean, that's all I need. I just understand the system. I'm going to take everything over through the celebrity too that I'm creating. I mean, when you got a golden Batman walking in broad day in New York, people are going to stop and take photos. Everybody's going to say, hey, can I get a picture? It's a tourist destination. I'm way ahead of the game, man. See, if you mess with me, you're going to make money, you're going to get somewhere, you're going to succeed. If you go against me, you're going to eat canned sardines and you're not going to, you're never going to get nowhere. You feel me? Which I actually want to try some sardines, but I heard they're pretty good. But I just don't eat them. I don't like the cans that you got to open, like they're kind of sharp. But my whole point is, um, yeah, I mean, I already know how to milk my celebrity that I'm creating for all it's worth. I'm the one who created it myself. This wasn't by coincidence. I'm not getting famous by coincidence. I know what I'm doing if you can't tell. I mean, look at me, bro. I come down next to Mexico and already I'm a superstar. And what I mean, immediately. I can't go anywhere, bro, with basically with people honking at me. Even if I'm not wearing my bat suit, people recognize me. I'm a celebrity locally, which is cool. Wasn't what I was going for, but that's cool. And it's because of what I'm doing. It's a big deal. And, the fact that everything I'm doing is beneficial and to help people and motivate people and inspire people is even better. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I can go in broad day and I can switch it up. Like I can switch suits so people don't know who I am. They can't ID me. It's going to be a fun little journey, man. But I'm just saying, in New York, oh, I'm gonna have a field day with everything. We're gonna have so much fun. Christina and I, we're gonna listen to the music we want. She sends me her music tracks that she likes. I listen to them. They're beautiful. Um, all my time is gonna be with her. It's just gonna be like we're gonna set times and dates, and we're gonna talk about and literally like figure out these missions and what I'm gonna do and what I want to do. And you don't understand. I mean, at some point, I think agencies are going to have to offer me contracts and deals. They're going to have to put contracts on the table and cut the check. They're not going to have a choice because they're going to say, like, dude, you have enough power now and you got a platform. That's why the new movie I'm telling you is so accurate. It's depicting everything I'm going to go through. I know there's going to be real riddlers because it's already happened. Look at what just happened in Florida, dude. That's a riddler, man. There's real villains being created every day. That's the thing. We don't have a choice. You have to have a Batman, man. The other people in these departments, I'm sorry, but they just can't get the job done. They're not equipped to handle villains. Criminals are getting smarter every day, and everybody else honestly is just not ready for them, and a lot of them are getting slower. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Or they're too busy doing corruption. I mean, respect to the good ones, but to the ones who are corrupt, they're too busy doing corruption and doing illegal stuff to pay attention to the actual crimes. And that's why the people are not being protected. When they say thank you for protecting, they didn't protect anyone. All that stuff just happened at all the poor people and students at that university, and nobody's did anything to stop it. Had Batman been around, he would have been able to save people and actually, act and without hesitation, and would have been able to probably stop all of it. Do you get what I'm saying? See, that's the point. Like, it's going to be situations, I think, like that too, where I see the news or I get some kind of, I hear something or I get a download from God, and He tells me, hey, yo, like this is happening right now. Like, you got to get over here. And I'm in the Batmobile, so I got to speed literally and try to get over there in time to help people. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. If you looked at it, look at how long the response time was, because they don't care. Because the truth is, those are all inside jobs. Real talk. Like I said, if you research and you study whatever those crazy you think they're crazy, they're being recruited to do this stuff. I promise you, it's easy to see. If you study the things that they're using to perform the evil they're doing, you'll see that 9 times out of 10, at least in the past, they've been military grade, meaning they come from the military. They're inside jobs. It's sad. It's a really, really a tragedy in this country, how sad this country is, and that they pick on our own people. I've seen tons of stuff happen like that, especially on campuses. Campuses is like a predatory environment. It's not the way that people think, where it's nice and it's just students and everybody. It's just like the girl said in the news. I listened to it. She said everybody was chilling. Like, why? Why? Because your country is messed up and it's a cesspool of corruption. Why? Because they like to pick on the innocent. That's why you have to have a Batman who understands what's really going on and is going to stand up to everybody and not put up with that nonsense. Feel me? That's just reality. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I mean, I don't know. Um, I'm still going through my own physical stuff, man. Like I said, it is what it is. Just keep me in your prayers. But like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, I just want to save people, man. I want to help people, man. That's all. I want to do the right thing, and I hope that I have the most positive impact I can have. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just saying, New York. I already know it's obvious that I'm going to get into stuff. I mean, it's just, I mean, like I said, I see the point in the new movie. Like, let me scale this out for you so you can understand. The new movie is spot on accurate, and it's about me. Like the character that Robert Pattinson played or whatever, Robert Pattinson. I don't like him, but the one he played is me. They're copying me. They already knew that I was going to do this. So it's like, I think the suit might even look kind of like that in the movie, but I kind of want to protect my mouth area and my jaw and my face. I think that's pretty necessary because, like, the things that I could be coming up against and just whatever could happen, whether it just be from people, whatever, taking advantage of authority, or they don't like Batman, or they're just set out to get me. I mean, like, I kind of want my mouth and jawline to be protected. So like I said, I think the suit is going to have like a cage that's like pure like titanium or steel or something that's actually like proofed. You know what I mean? That way, like anything, comes near my mouth or my grill, it's just gonna bounce off. You feel me? So, like that's the thing. Like you have to be smart. I wouldn't say no so much careful, somewhat cautious, but you have to be smart about how you approach all this too. Hold on.
Oh, I got a message, Christina. Christina, honey. Let me join. I'll help you with this.
So it's not an
I already
easy thing to
told you.
do,
I
man. Like I
can't.
said, nobody's ever
My
done it.
co-op mode
Nobody's
doesn't
ever
work
done
right
this.
now.
And it's a
I
good
already
thing that
told
I'm a
you, man. My
responsible man.
co-op
It's
mode
a good
doesn't
thing that I
work.
make good, coherent decisions. I just know how to get power in my sleep, man, especially if I got a budget to work with and money like Christina and I are looking at, and I'm looking at if, with us together, of course. Um, like what's hers is mine, what's mine is hers. But I'm just saying, like they stole my inheritance. Like I said, I got readings talking about that I'm going to get blessed real soon. That it may be an inheritance I don't know about. It makes sense. Um, all that. I'm not really trying to get too focused on that or get my hopes up or get too much in a rush with that right now because I don't know for sure if it's going to happen or what. I believe it, but I just don't want to get my hopes up. I've been let down enough. Um, And really in my life, I ain't been let down too many times, man. Really, I mean, God has never really let me down. That's why I believe it's going to happen. It just makes sense. It makes sense because I'm changing. Y'all don't understand what I've done is like I'm creating ripple effects in the universe. My law of attraction is so high and my consciousness and my power that like I've changed the fabric of time. Like the reason that things are going to happen for me and are attracting and coming to me is because I did what people talked about and I never got it from anyone else. It was just something I knew a long time ago. I researched it when I was in college. I understand the law of attraction. I understand that if you set your mind and you make an actual go and you focus and you say, I'm going to be this and this is where I'm going and what I will be and become, that the universe will move out your way. That's why y'all don't get where my confidence comes from because I know I'm Batman. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I was born to do this. I was born to be Batman. So it's like for me, it's a walk in the park because this is what I was born to do. I wasn't born to be anything else. I wasn't born to be an underwater sea basket weaver. I wasn't born to ride seahorses and unicorns. I wasn't born to, look at rainbows. I wasn't born to enjoy long walks in the beach or smell of rich mahogany. I was born to be Batman, right? And be in the street dealing with criminals and fake thugs and wannabe gangsters and the same riffraff I've dealt with my whole life that I can't stand. That's the truth. And that's the thing. Like I said, what's going to happen is I'm going to end up talking to all these people up in New York, like especially at these departments, which I already know are corrupt, right? But they're going to have to be working with me at some point, just like in the movie. You see the point? Like he had the guy that was he was the investigator in the Batman movie, and
Yo,
he
what's up,
brings Batman
DZY?
into the actual crime scene. They're going to have to do stuff like that at some point because I'm going to have such a huge presence online, is what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing, and just enough power, regardless, or money. Even if I didn't have any web presence, I mean, I can recreate it. I don't need YouTube to do it. I'm going to have a web presence regardless because people are going to look for my stuff. So when I pop up and make new channels and new platforms, people really will pay attention and will gravitate back to it. That's the thing. And I'll get back to where I was with the views and everything real quick. Point is, I'll have enough power and leeway that they're gonna have to work with me because they're gonna say, hold on,
Because they're gonna say, "Hold on."
they're gonna say the dude has gifts. He's intuitive. He understands. Like I might even go to school for forensics. Maybe even while I'm doing the Batman thing. Like I want to learn forensics for sure. Like even if they teach me, you know what I mean? I may talk to them and see like, is there a course I can take or something somehow? Like, do I have to go to college for it or what? But like, I need to learn forensics. I need to learn all that stuff, like how to read fingerprints, because that's what Batman is usually collecting is fingerprints. Batman is the world's greatest detective. You know what I mean? Like, so if I need to go to college to become a detective, maybe, I mean, there's several things I could do. Like I said, I want to go to school to see how I can become a U.S. Marshal more than likely. You know what I mean? But my thing is, I just don't like doing anything where I lose my power. Like, if U.S. Marshal means I'm in control and it's like the movie is with Sam Gerard, which I highly doubt, but if it was like that, I would want to do that. But as far as being like in the line of duty, like just being in the way of things happening, I don't really want to do that. I want to be someone who's able to like make the decisions from like an armchair in like an office cubicle, but that's what he does too in the movie. You know what I mean? He gets out there in the field because he kind of wants to, but like I don't think you have to. And it's not that I'm scared or anything. It's that, well, I mean, if I'm Batman, I'm already going to be out there all the time as Batman. It's different when you're Batman and when you're, just in plain clothes. You know what I mean? I mean, like I'd probably have a vest on, of course, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. But um, I don't want to do any job that's not really like too safe because I just don't think it's a wise decision for me. I don't think it's smart for anyone to put themselves in that position, honestly, especially for what, not even getting paid that much? Like, that's not worth it. But my whole point is I can study this stuff. I want to learn forensics and like I mean, I think they're going to have to incorporate me at some point and literally help like I'm going to have to help them with all these things. And if you notice in the new movie, he was leaving him cards and stuff and it said to the Batman. There's going to be stuff like that, I think, seriously, and I don't want that to happen, of course, not at all. But I think that's how it's going to work because think about it. If I'm an internet celebrity and I have that kind of web presence and they know who I am at that point and I've got enough of a track record that they see, okay, this dude can figure stuff out and is able to actually, whatever I'm doing at the time, like stop, all this evil and stuff, and they know what I represent and who I really am, and and having a clue or some concept of, this dude's really in the street getting it in, and he's really built like that, and he's just done so much, he's stopping all this evil and corruption. I mean, villains are going to get triggered and pressed by that. So they're going to do stuff like that. They're going to literally write cards and put to the Batman. Like that makes sense. They're going to do that stuff. That's the level and time we're at. I mean, it's sad that we're in that time, but that's the time that we're at. So I mean, then if they're doing that, I mean, they're going to have to involve me because they're going to say like, look, just like the movie, they're going to say he's writing to you, and they're going to ask the same question: why is he writing to you? Well, it makes sense because I have this presence, so they know who I am, and obviously, I don't know. I guess they, triggered and impressed by me and want to get me involved or whatever, or have some kind of animosity towards me. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. I guess kind of like I think the villains just knew that Batman was the only one who could stop them or catch them. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like I'm telling you, like all the other people and the agencies and departments, they're not equipped to catch these type of people, man. These people are getting too smart. They're learning how to do things on a different level, and there's too much technology now. The criminals are getting smarter, dude. It's just part of the evolution. Criminals get smarter, and that's why you have to have a Batman who gets smarter. You know what I mean? But like all the other people, they're just there to get their check. Let's be realistic. They don't really care. None of them care. They're just there to get their money and get their check, and that's it. You know what I mean? So for that reason, because it's not really what they do, it's their job, but it's not what their purpose is and what they do. You're gonna have to have a Batman. You know what I'm saying? And Batman is for protection for everybody because I'm telling you, the criminals are going to keep getting smarter, bro. And that means that they're going to operate on higher and higher levels where they're harder to stop and deal with. That's why you need a Batman. That's why he says in the other movie, the old movie, she asked, "Why do you have to do this?" And he said, "Because nobody else can." You understand? It all makes sense to me. I'm just way ahead of my time. Like I said, I have gifts, I mean, I don't care how people feel about my gifts or my words or what I'm saying. I'm just predicting the future. This is what it's going to be. I can already tell. So it's like I'm going to be spending all my time with Christina and taking care of her and making sure she's okay. That's the main priority always, you know what I mean? But like once I make sure she's totally good and we're happy and we're spending time together all the time, and like I said, I'll just talk to her and we'll say, okay, we're gonna try this Batman thing out together, and we're gonna do that together too. And like I said, I'll have a GoPro on the front and back for her to see with a live feed. I got to figure out the technology for all that. We may look into cameras on contacts like they use in that movie, all sorts of different stuff. Like I said, I want to be mic'd up so I can talk to her, and that way she can see everything going on, And it's gonna be like her watching a movie basically. And like I said, she might see a lot of action. I don't know because I'm gonna be in the street just literally being Batman and doing whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? The thing is, it's about being in the right place at the right time. Like literally, like I want to be in the right place where there's things active and going on, and I'm going to be in a lot of bad areas. You know what I mean? So it's just different. Like I said, and it's something that's necessary. We need it. You know what I mean? It's the truth. We need it. And like I said, it'll really help me if I want to run for politics, honestly, because who the hell's not going to want to vote for a guy who's Batman? They're gonna want to vote for me, bro. Seriously, it's gonna help me with like if I want to run for president, it's gonna be a presidential campaign. They're gonna say this dude gets his own justice straight up in the street. I mean, why would I not vote for him? He actually cares. You know what I'm saying? He makes a stand on his own and he'll protect, Gotham by himself. He can't protect the whole world or the whole country, but you can try to, pass the right laws and do the right policies to help other countries and everybody do that and everybody get along. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. We need a real president that changes all this stuff and tells the secret society to go kick rocks and you're not the elite and you're not going to run our government and you can go ahead and scram. And they're tied into every government across the world. That's what people don't get. You think that the Chinese government and our government are separate. No, there's a shadow government. They have people staged in all these different governments across the world and they all work together in unison. The shadow government is what pulls the strings. They think they run the world, they run their mouth. Nobody runs the world. To think that you have that kind of power is just delusion. They're all lost in their own delusion because they're all maniacal and insane. You have absolute insanity, insane people running the country. That's our whole issue as a people and a population. You know what I mean? And we can see it. We don't agree with anything they're doing. I mean, they've been testing on us since we were born. I mean, you think we're okay with this? No. You know what I mean? But you still have to go about doing things the right way. When you're a revolutionary, you still have to go about things the right way. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, you get mad and you know what I mean? That's why I don't agree with how certain people have handled things and what they've done because then you're just like them. Just like Bruce Wayne says, he says, no, because that's what separates us and makes us different than them. You know what I mean? Like I'll always have that rule. I'm about preserving everything and helping people and protecting people and that's it. You know what I mean? I'm a good person. I'm not trying to do nothing crazy as Batman. It's just that I have to protect myself. I have to defend myself in the street. That's it. But that's what I mean. Like Christina will probably just see a lot of good old action, you know? It is what it is. I mean, I'm going to be about self-preservation too. That's the thing, I got to see how I want to approach it. I may not even have to do all that too often. That's kind of up to me. But I just think that it's going to be a necessary component at some time. What I'm hoping is that I can talk to the departments, like in New York and different states and cities, and hopefully that they'll literally just like the movie, like with Commissioner Gordon. Hopefully they'll want to work with me as Batman and utilize me as a resource. Maybe they'll put me on a payroll. Literally, I don't know if I have enough money. I mean, and I'm already solidified independently, and if I may, it might have to make it a business and an agency. I don't know, but they might say, "Hey, if you're a business and you're an agency, we'll work with you." They might say that. They might just say, "Just get the certification and the licensing and make it an official business like a security company, and we'll have you help us out with our assignments and what we do, and we'll give you a job." They might do that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it all depends, you know what I mean? But like that would be cool if it was, a department and it was people in it that I trusted. That would be a dream come true, but I mean that's really what you need because you need to work together and I mean it is to try to help them. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point, so it is what it is, Other than that, I mean, all corruption is just going to be exposed publicly. It's just going to be talked about and discussed, and that's it, and that's going to be the thing. Just like in the movies, you're going to have the ones who are corrupt and trying to hide it, who are against Batman, and you're just, you'll have different issues and different conversations. The truth will rise and the truth will come out just through talking verbally, and that's it. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? But there's not too much they can do because Batman's going to operate regardless. That's the thing. Like, I'm issuing divine justice and divine law through God. I am God's will walking. I mean, I have divine authority. That's what people don't understand. That I know a lot of you. You're looking at it like, how does this guy have the confidence to do all this? And what? Like he said, what makes you so special? What gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me? I'm not wearing hockey pads. I mean, it's divine authority. It's I've been given. I'm ordained by God. I mean, ordained not through a church. You get ordained by God. I'm ordained and picked. I'm the chosen one by God. So I have divine authority. I walk around in my divine authority because it's real. Nobody can take it from me. And if they ever fronted on it, I mean, anybody could, but I mean, then God is going to see that, and I mean, God's going to protect me. Common sense. That's why God said, "Vengeance is mine." God is not going to tolerate nothing towards me at all. You know what I mean? Not even trying to tell me not to do something. Like God's not going to put up with nothing. You know what I mean? Like God knows His will, and there's the jobs that have to be done, and that's it. You know what I mean? He's not going to just let people get in the way of that. Now He'll handle things with kindness and compassion. You know what I mean? As much as possible, but the things that should be handled that way, He will. But God doesn't play games, man. God's will is God's will. That's what He said. He said, why? Because whatever I say is what happens. What He wants is what will be. That's what God told me. Not what you want, what God wants. Feel me? But I don't know. I'm really excited about it, man. Like I said, I mean, when Christina gets to me physically, we're gonna take a whole break from the Batman stuff. Me and her are just gonna get some good rest. We're gonna have like our pre-honeymoon, and then we'll have an actual honeymoon too at some point that will just be beautiful. I want a beautiful wedding and marriage because I definitely plan to get married with her. For us to be married. Um, but she's just amazing. I just care about her more than anything. I really, really, truly love Christina. And like I said, I'm always feel the same way. You know what I mean? No matter what. You know what I mean? So it's like when she's with me physically, I'll be taking a break actually from all the Batman stuff for a while, and I'll be talking to her about it and everything else, and writing down stuff and laying out the plans. Like I said, I need a laptop. She's got a lot of stuff that I need her help with. She's got to help me get a laptop and stuff like that, and I want it to be a good one where I can design. Not like software necessarily. I don't know how to do that yet, but be able to design, stuff that I want, and look into 3D printers, probably get like a small one to start, and I'll start working with it and figuring it out. I'm actually pretty tech savvy, is what people don't get. I mean, I was built to be Batman. I'm all around well rounded for it. But I mean, if I had the money and resources like I used to, that's what I would want to do is be on computers. You look at the Bat caves and stuff, he's always on a lot of TV screens, and he's got a computer and he's got a mouse and he's looking at stuff. I mean, that's how I'm going to be able to create and build everything through 3D printers. I'm going to be able to design stuff, look into the classes I need to learn how to build my own engines. I mean, I'm going to be working on all that stuff, but with Christina with me. But like I said, it's just I'm going to give all the Batman stuff a good long break for a while because I'm just so excited about Christina. I want to give her all my time and all my devotion. That's the truth because I'm completely devoted to Christina. So I'm in love. So I mean, we're gonna be in love and live our life. You know what I mean? And like I said, the Batman thing won't be for a good while because there's so much stuff that I just want to do with her and I. We might work it in, but I don't want it to be something that is all the time or all encompassing. That's all. That's why I want to give her that respect to just get away from the Batman thing for a minute and just, it's all about her. So we're gonna have our pre-honeymoon. Like I said, I want to go to these different places, like main event with her, maybe do the bowling, the blacklight golf. And yes, I'm telling you ahead of time, right? And I'll go to different places. I mean, there's all sorts of places. I mean, we don't even have to go there. That's rinky dink stuff. We could go to, San Antonio and go to the Dave and Buster's there. Again, I think I just saw the bat. Weird. Um, it literally does kind of scare me. Batman's scared of bats. I'm not scared of bats. I'm scared of what bats carry. Okay. I think anybody would be with common sense, but they don't all have that. And clearly, if it was just flying around, I don't think that it would have anything, but it's kind of weird. And it's not weird. It's just very meant to be, too coincidental. But, my whole point is I'm going to be spending all my time with Christina. We're going to be having fun. We go up to San Antonio and go to Dave and Buster's up there. We're going to Me and her are gonna go off the grid. We're gonna probably live off the grid. We're gonna be doing everything in like undisclosed locations, different places. We're gonna be having fun. I want to do stuff like go out on four wheelers, like in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like in different areas and stuff, and ride around and have fun. Go in the woods with four wheelers and ride around and go camp. And we're gonna be just having fun, and living our life. You know what I mean? Then, like I said, like after, some good time has passed, like we'll talk about the Batman stuff occasionally, because it's something I'm passionate about, I like she'll support everything I'm doing. I already know she likes it, but I just really want to make sure she understands that she's my only focus and everything else doesn't even matter. It comes second and, she's all that matters. So, like I said, I'm going to be focused on her. You know what I mean? So, I know she'll support me and help me with whatever I want to do. But that's all I really want to start. I'd like to get, a good laptop, maybe a mic, so we can do our couples content and we can do our show together. I really want her to do the shows with me, sitting down with me. I think that would make me really happy if we could just sit down, eat some good food, chill, and she was comfortable being on my show. I'll have the chat room closed. It'll just be us talking and people can listen. But I want to really do couples content, and then we can turn the camera on when we're in certain areas, where nobody knows where we are or anything. I'm not going to show y'all hotel rooms and stuff. Obviously, I have common sense, but you know, we'll have different places. I'll always make sure she's comfortable. She knows that she's safe. She has nothing to worry about. Like, we'll be straight. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're gonna get everything set up the right way. I'm excited about it all. You know what I mean? There's a little bit that me and her need to take care of that we got to do. So we're gonna be, doing all that. But I mean, so that's one thing. And then outside of that, like I said, I need a laptop, maybe a mic. Um, you know, I still have some interest in that big scooter thingy. Honestly, like I said, we got to figure all the stuff out with that, with the scooter and being able to drive again, all that, with all that. So she'll help me with all that, but like I'm still interested. Like I want that big scooter. That was going to be like my parting gift. Just I mean, we're just going to go on vacation, but I mean, that's going to be my parting gift. Like, for like the ping one. Like I want to get on a big scooter or like a motorcycle, and I wanted to ride through through Brownsville, um, or the Valley as Batman, but like definitely through Brownsville since like but Brownsville's like my territory. It's like Batman's territory. Like, and everybody would love it over there because like everybody knows here, like they know what I do, who I am, like they respect it. So I think people would be real happy to see, oh, like Batman got some money and now he's on a different level. And that's going to be like my parting gift. And then after that, we're going to head out and go on vacation. And like I said, we're going to be getting into real estate and like buying homes and different stuff for us. Like we're going to do everything. You know what I mean? So, and we're going to go immediately to San Marcos, to San Antonio, to Austin. I think we should go to San Marcos first. I think she would love it. And I've never gotten to do like the inner tube thing where you ride on the river. So I want to do that with her. Um, Something fun, as long as it's safe. I need to make sure it's safe and that she's okay to do it too. Of course, we don't have to do that. I don't know about the inner tube thing on the river, but I've heard it's fun. It should be safe. I mean, I think you just get on the water and you're just kind of floating. I'll make sure she's okay. I'll be right there to take care of her anyway. But um, stuff like that. Like I said, they got the outlets in San Marcos. We can go check that out, and there's restaurants. That's just how I like to live. I just think that'd be nice. They have an Embassy Suites too in San Marcos if we want. Maybe we could stay there. We could probably get like the top suite where they probably have those candy things like they have in San Antonio, the free candy. I would just ask them as soon as I go in, like, if I get the top suite here for a night, do you all have the free candy things here? And they'll either say no or yes. And if they say no, maybe I won't want to stay there. In San Antonio, I stayed in the Embassy Suites one day in like the top suite. I'm talking the top of the building. And on that floor, it was right next to my room. They had these things filled with candy, and you could take as much as you wanted. It was all free and complimentary. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like it was super cool. It was pretty cool, bro, because it was like good candy too, and it was like a lot. You know what I mean? So like you and like the thing is when you have money like that, you're not thinking, so you don't take advantage of that stuff. And that's why I really appreciate this period of time and what God has done for me because He's made me look at life for what it is, and it's just so much more beautiful to me now. I mean, I'm a lot more grateful now for even small things, and it brings out a lot of beauty in life, man. You know. So I love God, man. God has done a lot for me, man. Like I said, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't have made it this far. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for God. I know that for a fact. You know what I mean? So it's like I do everything through faith. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like now, if I got to do that with Christina, oh, I'd be so happy. I'd enjoy it so much. I'd take my time and sit down and eat that candy with her with me. And I go through a lot, dealing with what I'm dealing with physically. Don't get me wrong, it's hard on me, but at least she'll be there with me and I'll finally have, her there to talk me through everything and, try to help me, because it's just a impossible thing. It's just really hard to deal with and go through. It's hard to do much anything sometimes. I make it look easy. It ain't easy at all. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll help to calm each other down. I can help her with her anxiety. I don't want her having panic attacks, and she probably won't when she's with me because she'll feel safe or not as often. It just helps. It helps to have each other, and when you're really in love, it definitely will help. I know it'll help me from not having as many panic attacks because I'll feel safer because she's going to be with me. So it's like I feel at that point like if something happens to me, she could help me. You know what I mean? And that would be nice. You know what I mean? Seriously, I really need that. That's why I wanted her to be with me a long time ago in person. I want her with me. I need her with me. Seriously, especially with what I'm going through. But like I said, end of the day, you know, that's all, man. We're gonna have fun. I think we're gonna go to the island immediately, probably while we work on everything else. In the meanwhile, probably go to Slitterbond if that's still around. I haven't even been out there, so I don't know. Check out the beach a little bit. I don't really want to swim in the beach because there's oil out there, and I'm going to tell her that. But there's pools at the hotels and stuff. Like we'll have a good time. Get some good food. Go to the room. Eat. Like I said, we can get good deals on hotels through probably Booking.com or the apps. Um, Oh, I want to get into couponing too with her. Like, I want to actually pick up coupon books for everything, like hotels, like that. I'm sure they got books for the island out there. I'll probably even look into that before we even get a hotel. Like, ask them, do they have coupon books for them? I want to get coupons for everything, and like we can take our time and like, cut out the coupons. Like, I'll do that with her. I'm sure she'd like that. Just want to do different stuff. You know what I mean? It's different. It's gonna help me a lot. Because that's what I need. Like, true love and somebody who really loves me and is right there for me. And really cares about me. I never really had that, so it's a big deal for me. But like I said, we'll have a lot of fun on the island, and it'll just be cool, man. I'll be careful and watch who we interact with. We're not just going to be running around silly or dealing or talking to everyone. We're going to be very private. Um, you know, we'll make friends, but I don't trust anyone. I don't think there's too many friends in the world. It's just something I learned, but we will talk to people and, hang out, be cool, but that's as far as it goes. I don't let anybody but my significant other get too close to me. That's just how I am. Because I just know that people are not to be trusted. It's just the truth. I'm not naive, you know. So, you know, I mean, I think they got Burger Fi out at the island. I'm sure still. I really like that place. You can get a burger. It's got like egg in it, like a big egg patty. The meat's pretty good, and then you got your soda machine. You get soda all day. They got them. They're kind of like McFlurries, but it's not McDonald's. But they got the ice cream. I think they're called like slabs or something like that, or concretes. They're all right. They're not that good. You can get a better milkshake at Whataburger, I think personally, but they're all right. But like you got ice cream there. I'd probably want that. I'm pretty big on ice cream and chocolate and sweets. People don't know, but and again, it is what it is, man. Right now, I need everybody to show some support and donate. Y'all refuse to donate. It's just crazy. And I got the Cash App right there in the bottom left hand corner. So I'm trying to be patient. I'm letting TJ do his thing. I mean, there's nothing to rush or get upset over with that. I mean, he's trying to help. He's doing what he can. So, thank you. I'm grateful, genuinely. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of fun, man. We'll be able to build businesses. I just can't wait, man. I really want it all to happen because it's gonna help me bless other people too. You know what I mean? Whether it, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to just run around throwing money at, giving money away to people, but I will help the right people the right way. Like the guy who's helped me fix my bike and kind of been there for me with that. I probably want to do something for. Uh, I'd like to do something for TJ and give him an opportunity to where we can work together, um, maybe to build our restaurant or do barbecue or something, or maybe he'll want to actually run the food truck so we don't have to worry about it or be around, as long as he listens to me and does it right. But I mean, either way, I'd make sure he has an opportunity to do something and make money. You know what I mean? But like, we'll figure it all out. I just can't wait, man. I just want to start my new life. I know I deserve it, and I want it to happen. You know, that's all. I'm ready. Been ready. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I like up north too, man. I kind of miss the cold weather a little bit, honestly. I started kind of getting used to it for a little while. Um, Not say that I like it that much, but seasonally, occasionally, it's kind of cool. You know, as far as like Minneapolis, I don't think we're going to be really going there. Um, but like New York, other places. I mean, Green Bay, I don't have any interest in really, unless Christina wants to go to a Packers game with me, and we basically just, go out there and have fun and rub it in everybody's face. But I don't have much interest in Green Bay unless I was going to play football for the Packers or something. You know what I mean? Unless they were trying to recruit Batman. Um, and even then, I never really liked them. Was never really a fan. But um, I mean, the Packers are all right, but it's just the people in Green Bay I just don't like. They never good news me. But some of the up north places I want to go. I want to go to Boston. I don't know if I've ever really been to Boston. I might have been through there. I don't even know if I've done that, but I want to go to Boston with her. I think Boston would be cool to check out. Different places, Vermont. I want to go to those north states and just see what it's like. See what people are doing. When it's cold, a lot of people they just generally stay inside. There's really not too much going on. Like even in New York, I've noticed like New York is just it's set up weird, but it's a pretty cool place. And then like I could do the street ball stuff too, the basketball, and they got some good gyms out there. And I could probably talk to actual schools. Like I don't know, they probably have to be colleges, but I can ask around and figure out like is there a school where I can like practice and play pickup games at or something like will y'all let me in the gym if I pay you a fee for the day or what? But like I know there's got to be some places I can play and there's some leagues I can join too if we decide that we want to do that and like spend a summer in New York. Like I want to travel. I want to go to different places and travel and be well rounded and me and her experience and see different places and things and do everything together. It's all we're gonna do is have fun and travel. Like I said, I want to go take her to San Marcos, then take her to the Riverwalk, go to San Antonio. We're gonna go to the island first here. Like that's all I want to do. Like that's the life to me. Like I know how to live life to like where it's beautiful. Like travel, eat good food, great food, be happy, do fun things together. That's what life's about. And make money the whole time you're doing it because we can make money on here and we're gonna be able to build different channels and platforms to do more couples content and get more money coming in. I mean, we'll be able to do everything. If I get on a laptop, I probably can figure out how to get into my old channel too, which had like almost 700 subs too, so I can get that one monetized quickly once she's with me. You know, so I'll have more than one source of income from this. But that's what I need. But you know, like I said, um, I just want to be with Christina. And I really would like to see the look on just everyone's face in the world when they see us together. I know that's going to be something. It's just going to be amazing. You know, um, so I just can't wait, man. Everything I do is just for me and for her and for us. I don't really care how people feel, but I just think it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, because I got so many people that are obsessed, jealous, and envious over little old me. But I just really love Christina, seriously. So I don't know. Other than that, like I said, uh, a laptop would help, like a MacBook Pro or something, just a good laptop. It would help me to do a lot. Like I like to be on the computer because then I can research all my stuff. I'll write down things in my journal, and like I said, I got to kind of do a lot of research on New York and all these places. I'll be researching it before we even go there. She'll let me be in charge of like a lot, pretty much everything. I'm sure she'll follow my lead. I already know, so she knows I won't steer wrong, and I know what I'm doing for pretty much everything. Like I said, I have a lot of life experience. I'm not saying I got to always be the boss either, at all, but um, I don't want to be, but I mean, I'm the man and I'm going to lead, and she wants me to, she lets me be me. I'm programmed to do this, so I know what I'm doing. Like, I would be getting on the laptop and researching like the next city we're going to travel to and state and what it has to offer and like places we can go eat and what we're going to check out. Like, we're going to go on like a whole tour across the country. That's what I want to do. And she has her own vehicle, so like I said, I mean, it's already got everything we need. I think it even has like a thing to shower with if we go camping. If she wants to like put some pillows in there or make it comfortable a little more, we can do that. Um, we could do whatever, we could get another vehicle if we need to and customize it. She's already told me she's just super, she really loves me. Like she already told me she's just super amazing. Like she told me like we'll both have cars at some point. Like she just is really amazing. I've never had anyone like her or met anyone like her. Like I know that she always has my back. She always has my back on here, and we don't agree on everything. Like we don't agree on everything, and it's okay. We don't have to. That's part of love and being in a relationship, and that's the thing I never understood about human beings and people. They that think you have to agree on everything to be friends. I mean, nobody should agree on everything. It means you don't have independent thought. We don't agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to not see everything eye to eye all the time or see things exactly my way. I don't want somebody who doesn't think independently. She thinks for herself, and that's good. You're not supposed to see eye to eye on every little thing, and that's part of love. I mean, you want it to be like that. You know what I mean? So we're never going to have an issue. You know what I mean? Like, like I love how she is, and it's different than what I'm used to, and that's what I need. Like, I need fresh and new, and I need what's best for me, and somebody who has their own opinions and viewpoint on things. That's what a lot of you on YouTube I never understood because you just want to disagree so bad with people because you're programmed and you're not listening. Like even me and Christina, we don't agree on everything. We don't have to. You know what I mean? I think in all in entirety, in reality, when we're in person, I think we do agree on a whole lot. Majority of stuff we do see eye to eye on. I've noticed we're very connected. We're very similar. I think it's just different when you're typing, honestly. But I think in person it's different when you get to talk to somebody from your heart and they're in front of you. But we're very much in love. You know what I mean? It's very real, and we're very like meant for each other. Like literally, just her and I were like made for each other. I know that. So I'm just happy I found my soulmate. I just want to start and get this show on the road. But that's what I want to do. Travel. I kind of want to live like Ocean's 12. Like I want to wear nice clothes. I want to, stay in nice places. I want to buy nice places, doing our own independent real estate. I want to, I want to look nice. I want to dress nice. I want to be clean cut the way that I want, of course, but clean cut. Um, I'm going to be looking good. Christina always looks good. We're going to look good together, but that's what I want to do and travel and eat good food and go out and have experiences in real places. And we're not going to be spending time in like ghettos and hoods and dilapidated places and circles. We're going to be in all the nice areas everywhere. The only time I'm going to be going in the bad areas is for the Batman thing. You know what I mean? And that's, it's just the Batman thing is a different thing, man. It just is what it is. And I still have to figure out how I'm going to do it because I honestly think that I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. Honestly, I might not even have to do any of that. I think that's just the wild side of me, and I think it's necessary. You know what I mean? But um, everything I do, I mean, like I said, I'm a public figure too, so there's gonna be a lot of attention and eyes on me. I have to see. I have to look into all of it. I'm gonna talk to Christina about all of it. We'll figure it out together, what the best approach is for everything and how to do everything. But Um, it's something I take very seriously and I'm passionate about, but I'm a lot more serious about Christina and a hell of a lot more passionate about Christina than anything or the Batman thing. You know what I mean? That's just the truth. So, like I said, when she's with me physically in person, I'm going to be focused on her and nothing else. I'm going to take a break from the Batman thing. We'll do couples content for sure on here. We'll be on YouTube, but we're just going to have a lot of fun and enjoy ourselves. So that's what y'all have to look forward to. And like I said, I need y'all to donate, and I'm gonna keep on talking about the same things nonstop. I can't wait to get this show on the road and get everything to happen. You know what I mean? Seriously, like I just can't wait. That's gonna be awesome. Like I just that's what I'm saying. I need a laptop because I just can't wait to sit down. Whatever, play games, get on my laptop, do my research, like look into the cities and states we're gonna travel to next, travel. We can literally park in front of these fast food restaurants and film from our vehicle, and like we can set stuff in there, set up like we could have our own TV screen in there. We could have gaming systems, anything we want. And we could sit there in front of the fast food places like that one dude does on here and eat food, do couples content like that, do food blogs and all that, and just enjoy ourselves. Like that's what I want to do. I want to go like I want to eat different food too, but shellfish, I think I for sure need to. I have to stay away from right now. Can't do no shellfish. So I kind of get nervous with fish, period, because it affects me either way, kind of. But I can do tuna. I can do shrimp, I believe. Apparently, I can do hush puppies and stuff. Depending on what they put in them. But I'm gonna stay away from crab. I'm not doing no oysters or nothing crazy like that. None of that. Like if we go to Red Lobster, I could do like the shrimp plate. Probably I shouldn't have any issues. But anything else, like a lobster, I'm not getting near. I don't touch none of that stuff. And it's weird because I never had that, but I go through my reactions from stuff I went through physically, and it'll probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever go away. It'll at least take a year to a couple of years, probably, and maybe it can work out of my system, but it has to do with certain allergies and allergens and stuff, and it usually will last about a year. You know what I mean? So I got to look into all that, but um, I don't know, and it's not a normal reaction, so I don't even think a doctor can really figure it out. But I mean, I could try to look into that, but I definitely would want to ask them to see if they got that thing in case anything happens with that. That'll help me. You know what I'm saying? But um, my reactions are usually different. It's hard to explain. It just comes from something I went through physically because they have to basically like put me back together like Humpty Dumpty. I've been through hell, man. So people forget I've been through a bunch of impossible things. So it was cool. The guy today, man, he told me like your reflexes are amazing, and like he witnessed me survive something right there in person. So it's like people say positive things about me as Batman, man. Don't get it twisted. I even told him like maybe we can do a show and you can come on my channel and we'll talk about it. But I want to try to stay positive. And it is positive what he has to say, but what happened wasn't really positive. On the other person's side that was doing what they were doing, but um, you know, it's all good, man. Just living life, man. But that's what I want to do. I want to get on a laptop and research different places and have ideas for where we want to go next and just chill. I want to cook with her. I want to cook and eat good food and just be in love. Like I'm really gonna calm down a lot and like chill when I'm with her. I know that, and that's what I need. Like I need someone to ground me because man, my life's been insane, bro. My life's been like a movie, and I've just been through so much. I'm kind of numb, and I'm just built differently because of all the environments I've been in and things I've seen. You know what I mean? So she wakes up my feelings and my emotions and my heart a lot. So it's just you'll see a different I mean, y'all know how I am. It's not gonna be different, but you'll see, the real me come out a lot more. The more human side of me come out a lot more when she's with me. I know that, so that's a good thing. That's all. I mean, that's all I want. I deserve that. I've never really had that. At least not in a long time. So I am human. I deserve to be happy, and I know that. So that's what I want. I've wanted it more than anything my entire existence. Especially with her. That's all I want. So, all right. I'm already tearing up. So before I start crying and all that over her and all this, like I said, um, oh, let me get into this real quick. This will kind of change the tone. I mean, it's just crazy, man. On YouTube, you got one guy. He does fake shows with no monetization and begs for donations and makes up fake digits and stalks me, and then is upset when I'm getting attention. Then you got the other one. She can't take care of her kids, and she she's I think she's outside of the hotel. She can't extend her stay again, so I think she's outside of the hotel with the kids. And like I said, if you keep that up, you're gonna go to jail. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, you're going to go to jail, and they're basically probably going to separate y'all. It's. I just see it. I mean, I'm not predicting it, and I don't hope. I hope that doesn't happen. But at the same time, I'm just being honest. That individual, like, she's a neglectful mother, and everybody's saying the same thing, even on this network. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't take care of her kids, and like when the kids are not eating and stuff, like that's a huge problem, bro. And like these people, they don't do their job. They don't really care. They never care about the kids, but I do. And that's just not right. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you keep up this stunt of not being able to extend your stay, and you keep saying, yeah, we're going to leave here, how are you going to leave if you're in the middle of an entire state that's corrupt as hell? Like, I know that state, bro. I've been there. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, like I've been in jail there. Okay, that state is notorious for doing crazy corrupt stuff, bro. They did it with me. They stopped my car in a lineup of about 5 cars. I was in the middle, and they pulled me out of it, targeted me, and they told me, drive your car up here to this gas station and park it, and you can't drive that car. That's what they said. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just they're a weird state, man. Like they really are weird. They will really target people.
The truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act. The truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
You motherfucking trolls, get off my goddamn live stream! I'm Batman, motherfucker!